Hello everyone, good morning. This is Anup Gade, and in this semester we are going to deal with computer system security. As we all are well aware that nowadays internet plays a very vital role at everywhere, at every places. Without internet, we cannot expect the current system to work. Internet plays a very vital role in the development, not only the development, but also in the situation of this COVID pandemic. Everything is working on the basis of internet, and that's why we say that internet plays a very vital role in the development of the current business scenarios. So whenever we are talking about internet, the security part, the security concerns are very important, and this subject deals with the security part of the internet. The subject computer system security majorly deals with security parts and security concerns. In this subject, we are going to deal with various security algorithms. The 6 units of this particular subject covers variety of encryption and decryption algorithms. The unit 1 is all about the introduction and the various private key cryptographic techniques. Unit 2 is all about differential cryptanalysis, few more private key based algorithms. Then third unit is all about public key cryptography, or sometimes it may be called as asymmetric key cryptography. Third unit is also about the hash function, the message digest. Unit 4 talks about secure hash algorithms, that is SHA, HMAC, Kerberos. Unit 5 is mainly about email security, PGP, MIME, S-MIME, IP security, and the key management. And finally, Unit 6 is all about web securities, which covers SSL, transport layer security, then secure electronic transaction, then SNMP, and various portions of firewalls, viruses, intruders, swarms, and so on. Trusted system also covers in unit number 6. So this is all about all the contents of the syllabus. Major books that we used to refer for this subject is William Sterling, the very popular book. Almost 100% of the syllabus covers in that William Sterling book, and I personally recommend everybody should refer the William Sterling, a standard and an internationally acclaimed author. Very good book. Also, you can refer a B. Foron, Borrowed Forozone. Again, a very interesting and a very good book published by Tata McGraw-Hill. Atul Khate, the Indian author, but a very good and an international book, again published by Tata McGraw-Hill. What we are expecting after the completion of this particular course? After completion of this course, students will be able to understand the concept of information security, the various encryption, substitution, and the transposition techniques. That is a course outcome for unit number 1. For unit 2, after the completion of this particular part, you will be able to understand the differential and the linear cryptanalysis, the key distribution, and the confidentiality part. Unit 3 will give you knowledge about the public key crypto system and the hash function. Unit 4 talks about the secure hash algorithm and the digital signature and the standards used for digital signature. Unit 5, after the completion of Unit 5, you will understand the PGP, MIME, S-MIME, and the IP security part. After the completion of Unit 6, you will be able to understand web security, SSL, TLS, and system security concepts. So these all are the system outcomes. The subject code is 702, BIT 702. So these are the course outcomes. Now let us try to understand what are the various encryption techniques. So basically there are two encryption techniques. First one is a conventional and the second is non-conventional. Symmetric key encryption is nothing but the private key based or a single key based encryption algorithm, also called as traditional encryption or a symmetric encryption. In case of symmetric key encryption, a sender and the receiver shares a common secret key. All Classical algorithms fall under the category of symmetric encryption, or we may call it as private key encryption. The early invention was based on this symmetric encryption, and after 1970s, the world the world was moving towards public key cryptographic technique, and nowadays, most popularly, public key encryption system or asymmetric key cryptographic techniques are more popularly used. Before moving in details of this subject, some basic terminology all should be understood very clearly. You may say that these are the a base for this subject. First one is a plain text. Whenever we talk about the original message, the original or a human readable message or a human understandable message is nothing but an original message or a plain text. Ciphertext is nothing but a coded message. Whenever we are going to apply some algorithms, whenever we are going to apply some mechanism on the plain text, the message will be converted into a, a coded form, and we call this coded form as a ciphertext. Now cipher is nothing but an algorithm which is used for transforming plain text into a ciphertext, or in other words I can say that whenever we apply some algorithm to convert a human understandable text into some coded part, that particular algorithm is nothing but cipher. Then key. The information used in cipher known to the sender and the receiver is nothing but a key. A key is very important aspect. Without knowing key, we cannot apply the algorithm. So whenever we say that algorithm is important, yes, but along with algorithm, the key is also very essential. So key should be very strong. Okay, so key plays a very important role, and that key should be secret. That key should be shared amongst the sender and the receiver. Now, fifth terminology is encipher or an encrypt. The mechanism, or we may say that the process of converting plain text into ciphertext is nothing but an encryption or encipher or encrypt. Okay, so whenever we are transferring the original message into a coded message, this particular portion is nothing but the encryption or encipher. The exactly reverse of it, whenever we are recovering plain text from a coded text, that entire process is nothing but decryption or decipher. The terminologies are very simple. So the process of transferring coded message into a original message, the process is decryption. Next is cryptography. Cryptography is nothing but the study of various encryption principles and the methods. Cryptography covers the study of the encryption and decryption principles or methods. Okay, so we are basically the students of cryptography, but I would like to add some more in it, the cryptanalysis part. Cryptanalysis is nothing but the study of principles or method of decrypting the ciphertext without knowing the key. Here it falls the category of our hackers and ethical hackers and other kind of hackers. So without knowing the key, whenever we are able to decrypt the algorithm, we can say that this is nothing but code breaking or cryptanalysis. Okay, and the combination of cryptography and cryptanalysis is nothing but the cryptology. So in a broad term, we are the students of cryptology, which covers the cryptography and cryptanalysis. Obviously, our focus is towards the ethical hacking part, or we would like to understand what ethical hackers would do. Okay, so we are in a broad term, in a broad sense, the students of cryptology. Okay, now try to understand the basic symmetric cipher model. Okay, so here our plain text is X. Whenever we are applying some encryption algorithm E with a secret shared key K, okay, we are going to get the coded message. So X will be converted into Y. So we can say that X is a plain text and Y is a ciphertext. Okay, so mathematically, if you would like to write it, we can write it y is equals to e, means encrypted form of x with respect to the key. Okay, so y is a coded message. So if you see the left block, first two blocks, the plaintext and the encryption, these two blocks form an encryption or encrypt. Okay, so encrypt will give us the coded message, that is nothing but a y. Again, whenever we would like to generate x from y, the process would be same but in a reverse manner. Okay, so now we are going to apply the decryption algorithm on y with respect to the key, k, then we are going to get the original message x. So in other way, I can write x is equals to b of k comma y, means we are going to get the plaintext x by applying the decryption algorithm d on the ciphertext y by using the key k. Okay, uh, here I would like to add a small twist. Whenever we are saying that same algorithm is applied on the sender side and the receiver side, it does not mean that it is exactly similar. It means that the keys are same, but whenever I am saying that my key is 3, let us take an example. My original message is 9. When I am trying to send the original message 9 to the party B, let's say two parties A and B. My original message is 9 and I would like to transfer this 9 to the party B, but I would like to add some encryption. So my encryption is multiplied by 3. So let us multiply 9 by 3. So it would be 27. So message will send to the party B as 27. Though the message is 27, but my original message is something different. So what the key would be? Key would be 3. So now whenever I would like to decode my message, I would divide this particular number by 3. So let us divide 27 by 3. I am going to get the original message, that is 9. Moral of the story: the encryption key on the left side is multiplied by 3. The same key would be applied on the right side. It doesn't mean that we again multiplied it by 3. We are going to divide it by 3. Okay. In other words, I can say that if I am applying plus addition here on the left side, I would have to apply subtraction on the right side. Okay. But the number remains the same. It means if I would like to send, say, 9 and my key is 3, so 9 plus 3 is 12. My number which I am going to pass is 12. So on the right side, on B side, we are going to receive 12. But whenever I would like to have my original number, I would have to subtract 3. So 12 minus 3, again I am going to get 12. So though the keys is similar, operations performed are entirely different. I hope you are going to clear all your doubts in coming lectures. So there are two requirements for secure use of symmetric encryption. First, we need to have a strong encryption algorithm and a secret key which is known to the sender and receiver only. We must be very careful while applying this symmetric key encryption, because if anyhow key is misplaced, if key is not secret, then in that case the secrecy of the algorithm may be compromised. So to avoid the compromisation of the algorithm, a key must be secret and it should be kept with the sender and receiver only. Mathematically, as I said earlier, the ciphertext is y and y is equals to encryption form of x with respect to the key k. Again, x will be generated from y by applying the decryption algorithm d and using key k. Okay, so these are the parts which are very essential and which are very important and which will play a very important role in the coming days. I hope you understand it. Thank you so much.